Yes, I routinely drink my coffee out of a uranium glass cup, and I haven't lost my teeth or my body hair. Not yet.
Well, I am masked up and ready to discover. Let's go!
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, I simply can never say no to another Art Deco percolator, especially if it has the matching cream and sugar in chrome, and here we go. The cream and sugar are here with the lid. Now those are $5.99 and the percolator I think is $6.99. Everything is there except the electric cord. That's no big deal because I've got plenty of them. I did take the top off, the basket is inside, the bottom is on there, so the only thing mostly that can be wrong with these is that the filament has broken or that the fuse has been blown. And those are both fixes, easy fixes for me. So it looks like it's in good shape. This is going to date to the 1930s and it's going in the cart. Do I need another one of these? No.
A cup of coffee, a sandwich, and you, a cozy corner, a table for two.
Well, of course I need another percolator. Who doesn't? Missing its lid is this early Pyrex casserole dish or baking dish. Of course, we talked about the yellow tint to the early Pyrex, which I believe first came on the scene in 1916 or 1917. I didn't buy it. The handle was chipped and it was missing its lid. Back on the shelf it goes. We are shopping again, everyone. Boy, that's a fancy pup. Back at one of my favorite Goodwill locations. No, this is not a Goodwill. This is a Second Avenue thrift store. I know, there are good things in those bags. Sometimes most of the time I zoom right by. I want to look at the albums here. Songs of Portugal, Christmas music. Not ready for that yet. Somebody dropped off their Chet Atkins collection. I never know what I'm going to find in the vinyl. I like to take a look. Since I pretty much grew up on vinyl, I have to say. Vinyl and 78s. When I was a kid, children's records were still sometimes on old 78s. Here's a mid-century chafing dish thing. $5.50. Nah. We can do better than that. Okay. Let's see what's next. Oh, there's that avocado green thing. And I see those a lot. There were little dishes that went with it, little berry bowls in the same shape. Now I'm moving that, which is in my hands right now, to get to what is sandwiched in between, which I recognize as a Depression-era console bowl. It was only $3, but I'm not over the top about the milk glass or the flowers that are painted on it. It is still pretty, but I didn't decide to purchase it. I don't see very many console bowls in white opaque glass or milk glass. A nice little stack of bowls in the copper tone finish, which is what Anchor Hocking called the cookware. The dinnerware was called peach luster, but they advertised the dinnerware, the cookware as bakeware rather, as copper tone, the finish. Now, I know you've already seen these because I did the kitchen counter thrift haul and you saw these. Yeah, what did I say? I think they're Jeanette. And of course, there's 4 of those. I did find a big Christmas tree there in excellent condition. Another one, yeah, this is the second one I've picked up in the last couple of weeks. So I've got 2 of them now. Oh, they are a beast to ship. They really are. I'm tempted to just take both of them to a flea market and sell them for like $40 at a flea market. But I have shipped them before. I guess in my history I've shipped about 7 of them. The first one that I shipped broke. And I learned after that, you've got to double box them. Box the base separate from the tree. And the box has to be big. And I mean big, so folks have to pay that shipping. A nice cruet, etched cruet there, $2.99. What is that? A yellow bird on a dish with a rubber band on his tail. This was broken. This little, see there I'm pointing? The little decorative loop on the end, which is applied, blown piece, and etched. Sorry to see that that was broken. Chrome, silver plate. I took a look at this, but then I decided that's a brand new Pyrex dish that someone has stuck down in an older carrying tray, so I wasn't interested. Pretty big bowl there that was painted. What is that? Star Wars? I don't know. I was never really into science fiction. Now this is very mid-century. I like that. It was $6, so I thought I wouldn't buy it, but I did like the mid-century design of that. The tidbit tray there. So it's just my little Christmas tree and my 4 cups there. St. Michael's, Maryland, a lovely place to go down there in a boat and eat crabs, which I've done on more than one occasion. It's a beautiful spot on the eastern shore if you ever get a chance to go to that area. I think it's considered the eastern shore section of Maryland. One little bubble cup and saucer. You know, I collect Depression era cups and saucers. I do have the sapphire bubble cup, so I didn't need it, and that's the reason why I didn't buy just that one. Notice how that blue on the left is more of a 60s blue, and the blue on the right, the bubble, was more of a 50s blue. I like both blue colors. Blue has always been a favorite color of mine. There's another guest set, tumble-up set, which is not an antique one. It's not an old one from the 1930s. It's attractive. I did leave it there. There's a nice big EAPG piece. And it's mounted on what looks like brass, but it was silver plated, and oftentimes, how much was that? Oh, $8.99. So the silver plate has worn off and you see the brass coming through. But I wanted to take a look at it anyway. A pitcher. I don't remember the name of that. It's, what, one of those 70s pieces, I think, Anchor Hocking. In that harvest gold color, amber color. Now we see, look down there on the bottom. See my running my hand over it? You see it, and so do I. Is that American Sweetheart? Well, I'm holding my breath because that glass is paper thin, and boy, did they pile stuff on top of it. So we're digging to the bottom to set it free. And as we get closer, I kind of like this pressed glass piece on top of it. Let's look at that. That's kind of cool looking. Probably dates to just before the 1920s. Around the turn of the century, 1910, it kind of looks like. And there we go. Put that down. And there it is, the Macbeth Evans piece there, the American Sweetheart. A lot of that floating around in pink. It was $7 for that, I don't know, 10-inch or so platter. It is lovely, and I didn't buy it. I left it for someone else to discover, but I wanted to set it free and not have it crushed by all those other heavy pieces of glass. It's kind of like when you catch a spider in the house and you put it outside rather than kill it. You just feel better, you set it free. This turns out to be a bicentennial EAPG piece here. I was hoping it would be a sesquicentennial. See, I see the Liberty Bell, and if it was I believe the sesquicentennial was 1926, I would have purchased it if it had been. But this is a bicentennial piece made in the style of a much older piece of glass. This is nice. It's one of those compartmentalized hors d'oeuvre serving things, with the dip in the middle and the 4 little trays. I didn't recognize it. It was very heavy and large. So, I think I left it on the shelf. Aha, aha, aha! Could it be a Luray pastel? Recognize those handles. Get it out of there. Yeah. Woo! It's Luray pastel. Love it, love it, love it. $3. That's pretty good for that yellow platter. A little bit of wear on it. Oh, I'm going to put it right back on top of that shell anchor hocking piece. Either shell or swirl, I get them confused. I don't know why I didn't buy that Luray piece. Now what's over here? Ah, cups and saucers. Oh, Johnson Brothers. We love us some Johnson Brothers. I know I do. Not a big fan of that. Well, what am I going to do next? Is this the end of the recording? Well, this won't go down in history as the biggest kitchen counter thrift haul, but I know you're green with envy. All right, let's see what's what. I'm actually drinking, it's not coffee, it's root beer. It's too hot for, well, actually, it's not hot. It's only like, it was chilly enough last night to put a little bit of a blanket on the bed. It's nice and cool here in Philly, but I had some root beer I wanted to finish up before it went completely flat. So we're gonna drink that out of a uranium cup and saucer, and so that's the only thing not for sale, but everything else is, and it's all currently listed in the old curiosity shop. I also have a few other uranium glass items I'm putting in tonight, so there'll be more even than what you just see here. 3 console bowls, a mixing bowl, salt shaker, and cream and sugar. The cream and sugar is made by the Indiana Glass Company. Yeah. And some custard glass has uranium in it, as you can see. And that's what this is right here. This is called Orange Blossom. It's a really pretty pattern and unmarked. Something I don't find every day, especially with the lid. And I don't want you to think that, well, let's do a little something here. Hold on for just a second. We're going to turn that on, and we're going to turn that off, because I want you to see that this isn't milk glass. It's a beautiful, sometimes you'll hear French ivory, vanilla or custard. I think we usually just say custard glass. So it's that creamy yellowish custardy color, actually, is what the glass is. Not milk glass at all. And we'll get the UV light back on and turn the larger light off. I want you to make sure you can see that. Okay, the cream and sugar in excellent condition. A little tiny chip on the inner lid, right there, inner rim of the lid. Doesn't show up at all when you're using it. And then back there is a McKee shaker in the Deco block printing there. It says salt. This would come from the range set, so there would be pepper, flour, and sugar. I like the square design, and we've got an original lid here in good shape. Oftentimes they're not in the best of condition, and it should say, probably has McKee embossed some. You can just barely see it. McKee did mark a lot of their glass. This one is a nice one, especially with this design on the front, and it's not a reproduction, and that's a very strong graphic there on the front. Good amount of paint. Oh, 95% of that is there, and salt is almost always in worse condition than everything else, because salt usually got you. Did I just put salt in my root beer? Salt, no, this is empty. The salt tended to get used a lot. Now I have a mixing bowl. Do I want to say Hazel Atlas with the square bottom? And I think this is the is that the 7.5 inch bowl? Anyway, I do have it listed, so you can check out the dimensions and the pictures in the Old Curiosity Shop auction site, and which is listed in the description box below. Here's a console bowl that I have not seen before. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. Everybody made console bowls. I love that it's on a pedestal. You like that? What a beautiful glow. And I like that quilted diamond pattern there. You know, like what's on the toilet paper. Now, I don't know who made it, haven't looked it up, and I'm not sure that I would ever necessarily be able to find the maker. I guess eventually I could. Look at all the little air bubbles in there. That's what all those little dots are. Wonderful shape, no chips, no cracks. Nice and shiny luster to that. These usually do hold up in pretty good shape. That's a nice one. And then I love the undulating waves, ocean waves of this piece here. Also wonderful. I believe I've had this before. Now this one has a little bit of a few little scratches here in the bottom. I guess somebody had nuts or pine cones in it or something. But you know me, I steer clear of chips and cracks anytime I can, and there are none in this, and it's nice and shiny with no cloudy dishwasher damage or any such thing, and it stands on 3 little feet there. So another one that's very nice. And then in the back, boy, I love this one too. It's a typical rolled edge console bowl. What I like mostly about it is there's nothing on it. No flowers have been etched into this. Nobody painted it. There's nothing embossed. It's just beautiful glass. And I love to get down at this angle and let you see that it just, and let you see that it almost looks like a phosphorescent jellyfish just hovering over the table. Isn't that wonderful? I love it. You're tired of hearing me say no chips, no cracks, but I'm going to say it again. What you see here and here are 2 mold lines that we can see are shining through from the bottom. Right there, those are the mold lines. This was made in a 2-part mold, and boy, it really glows beautifully. So I know uranium glass is popular with so many folks. And once again, remember, nothing that you see here would be considered Vaseline. And so I see an awful lot of listings that says uranium/Vaseline. And you're never going to see me do that. Definitely a difference between uranium glass and Vaseline glass, and we have talked about that before. So beautiful depression glass here. The uranium was simply put in there to give it this to. It was added for color, and it was ubiquitous up to the early 40s when companies couldn't use the uranium anymore because it was needed for the war. But you guys already know that. I had a lot of fun finding this uranium glass, and I hope you enjoyed looking at it. Hey, this week, what's coming up? You guys are fantastic. 2 of you helped me identify 2 vases that I did not know the makers of. And we had 2 collectors of such out there who helped me out with that. I'm going to give some updates on 2 glass vases that you might have already seen in a thrift haul. Yes, I didn't forget, we're going to take a field trip somewhere in Philly to talk about the origins of an antique print that I bought last week. Haven't done that yet. Let's see. Oh, there's lots coming up this week. And yes, I am going to tackle that purple cat candle, and I'm going to turn it black, and I'm going to do that together. So if I make a total mess out of it, at least I will do it honestly, and you can all say, ha ha, we told you to leave it alone. No, I appreciate everybody's advice. You know, hey folks, I read all of your comments. I try to give a heart to everyone. Sometimes it skips, and you know, I put a heart, or I think I put a heart, but the heart doesn't show up, but I never ignore anybody intentionally, so I'm always trying to get caught up on emails and everything. So fear not if I haven't responded to something. Hang in there. I try to do it as quickly as I can, and I certainly enjoy all the interaction. It makes doing this so much more fun. It's a group event here. All right, that's it. No more rambling. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching. Wait for the cat. So long for now.